Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt something shift inside you? Not because anyone said anything, not because something obvious happened. You just felt it. A tension between two people, a smile that looked right but felt wrong, a heaviness nobody else seemed to notice, and somehow your body noticed it before your mind did. Sometimes your body tenses before you understand why. The air thickens, a glance lingers too long, or a silence stretches just a little past comfort. You notice the way a laugh lands flat, the way a smile flickers at the edges, the way a joke leaves a bruise in the room. No one else seems to flinch. But your chest tightens, your skin prickles, your mind starts searching for what is wrong, long before anyone names it. You sense the mood shift before anyone speaks. You feel the unspoken undercurrent, the slight chill that moves through a group when something important goes unsaid. You read the room in micro-movements and half-finished sentences. Even when everyone else carries on as if nothing happened, you cannot help but notice the mismatch between words and what is actually there. There is a loneliness in this kind of perception. You wonder if you are imagining things, if you are too sensitive, too reactive, too much. You learn to hide the way your heart races, to steady your breath, to play along. You become skilled at acting calm while your nervous system rings the alarm. Sometimes it feels like a secret language only you can hear. A language of tension, of unshed tears, of laughter that does not reach the eyes. This is not drama. This is not brokenness. This is a way of being that is real even before it has a name. You are not imagining it. You are not alone in it. And you are not too much for this world. If you recognize yourself here, subscribe for the rest of the story. Sensory processing sensitivity describes a temperament found in about 15 to 20% of people, first identified by psychologist Elaine Aron in the 1990s. This trait means the nervous system is wired to notice and process more, physically, emotionally, and socially. It is not a weakness or a flaw, but a way of experiencing the world with greater depth. Some are born with this heightened sensitivity, as much a part of them as their eye color. Others develop it through necessity, shaped by environments where reading emotional cues and sensing danger became essential for safety. Both paths lead to a similar outcome, a life where every detail stands out and nothing fades quietly into the background. The DOES framework offers a simple map for understanding this pattern. Depth of processing, overstimulation, emotional reactivity, and sensitivity to subtlety. Depth means the mind keeps turning over experiences, searching for meaning and connection. Overstimulation comes from absorbing more input than most, sometimes leading to exhaustion. Emotional reactivity means feelings run strong and responses are vivid. Sensitivity to subtlety allows for noticing the smallest shifts in mood, tone, or environment, details others might overlook. Recognizing this pattern brings relief. Sensitivity is not random or chaotic, it is a recognized trait, not a diagnosis. The science reframes it as a form of intelligence, a way of sensing and understanding the world that brings empathy, creativity, and insight. People with sensory processing sensitivity can sense what others miss, offering compassion and perspective in every setting. The world benefits from those who feel deeply and notice what lies beneath the surface, reminding us that sensitivity is a strength, not a shortcoming. Sometimes you walk into a room and feel something heavy settle in your chest. A friend's shoulders are tense, their words clipped, but before they say a thing, your own body has already absorbed the tension. The sadness in the air drifts into your bones, as if the weather inside you shifts to match the storm around you. You do not choose this. Empathy is not a switch you can turn off. It moves through you on its own, registering in your muscles, your breath, your heartbeat. You notice the strain behind a smile, the fatigue in a sigh, the pulse of irritation rising in someone's voice. Even when no one explains, your system picks up the signal. You find yourself carrying stress that is not yours, sadness that arrived before you even asked what was wrong. Sometimes you realize you are holding your breath for someone else. People talk about empathy as a gift, but for you, it can feel like being an emotional receiver, tuned into every frequency, unable to block out the static. The cost is invisible. You shoulder moods and burdens that did not begin with you. And when you finally notice the weight, it is hard to remember what feelings belong to you and what has simply landed inside you from the world around you. You are not broken for feeling this much. You are not dramatic for noticing what others miss. Not every emotion you sense is yours to carry. Your depth is not a flaw. It is a form of intelligence, a way of seeing, understanding, and caring that this world needs. If you want to keep exploring this story, subscribe now. A strange look, a clipped reply, a text left unanswered. Sometimes these moments land with the force of a judgment. Your chest aches. Your mind replays the tone, the pause, the way someone's eyes slid away. Even after the moment passes, the feeling lingers, sharp and insistent. It is not overreaction. Your body reacts before your mind can explain why. The sense of being left out or criticized can echo for hours, sometimes days, as if the room itself has changed temperature. There is a name for this: rejection sensitivity. It is the tendency to expect and feel rejection more intensely than others. For people wired this way, even subtle cues, a sigh, a flat voice, an unread message, can feel like a threat to belonging. Science has found that social pain is not just an idea. Functional MRI studies show that social exclusion activates the same regions of the brain as physical pain, including the anterior cingulate cortex and the insula. The hurt is real, rooted in the body as much as the mind. It is not weakness. It is not drama. It is the intensity with which your nervous system encodes each moment of disconnection. You remember criticism long after others have forgotten. You carry the weight of silence, the sting of a joke that did not land, the chill in someone's tone. This is not a flaw. It is a sign of how deeply you process the world. Your pain is valid. Your sensitivity is a reflection of your depth, not your fragility. If you want more stories like this, subscribe now. Long after the conversation ends, your mind keeps turning it over. You replay every word, every pause, every flicker of expression. You wonder if you missed something, a hidden meaning in the timing, a shift in tone, a glance that held more than it revealed. The dialogue loops quietly in the background, refusing to settle. Even when your face is calm and your body still, your thoughts are busy sorting through the pieces, searching for clarity, for reassurance. For the moment, you might have misunderstood. This isn't just worry, it's the way your mind is wired for depth. Research suggests that people with heightened sensitivity have stronger connections in the brain's default mode network, the system that lights up during reflection and self-examination. For you, this means that processing doesn't stop when the moment passes. It continues, echoing through your thoughts, sometimes for hours or days. The nervous system stays alert, scanning for unfinished business, for signs you missed, for the feeling that you could have done something differently. The exhaustion you feel isn't always from the event itself. It's from the invisible work that happens after, the silent review, the search for meaning, the need to make sense of what just happened. This depth is not a flaw, it is a sign of how deeply you care, how much you notice, how much you want to connect. You are not alone in this. Your mind's loops are not madness, they are evidence of your capacity for insight and empathy. If you see yourself in these words, subscribe to keep exploring this story. Sometimes, beauty lands with the same force as pain. A song, a color, the way sunlight moves across a wall, it can stop you in your tracks, your chest tight with awe or longing. Your system registers every detail, the hum of fluorescent lights, the sharp edge of a siren, the tangled voices in a crowded cafe. Each sound, each flicker, each shift in the air arrives with its own weight. Loud spaces and emotional chaos do not just distract, they overwhelm. The world pours in, unfiltered, until your nerves feel raw and your mind aches for quiet. This is not about lacking strength. It is about receiving too much signal, too much sensation, too much beauty, too much noise. You notice what others miss, the subtle tremor in a voice, the pattern in the leaves, the sadness in a melody. Perception itself can cost you energy, but this depth, this intensity, is not a flaw. It is a different way of being alive. If you feel this, subscribe for more. Many learn early to keep their feelings hidden, mastering a calm appearance while their minds race beneath the surface. The mask forms out of necessity, a shield against being called too sensitive or dramatic. It allows movement through spaces that rarely understand the intensity of what is felt. Yet this effort brings exhaustion and a sense of invisibility. Sensitivity, though, is not a flaw. About 15 to 20% of people are born with a nervous system that takes in every detail, reading patterns, sensing shifts, and feeling deeply. Others develop this awareness in response to unpredictable surroundings. This is not emptiness or excess, but a capacity for empathy, creativity, and insight. Support and self-recognition matter more than hiding. The real question becomes how to live well with this awareness. You are not fragile, broken, or too much. Around 15 to 20% of people are wired to sense more, feel more, notice more. Sensitivity is adaptation, not a flaw. Every wave you absorb isn't yours to hold. Your empathy and depth are strengths. Subscribe for more understanding.